Welcome everyone to the SERL Domino's Pizza Truck Series Season 2, Race 21 at Lucas Oil Raceway at Indianapolis, Indiana. Actually, a few miles from the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I would actually rank this track as probably the second uh, biggest and second uh, most popular race in the state of Indiana. And this racetrack is 0.686 miles, and the corners are banked at 11 degrees, the straightaways are banked at 3 degrees, and I think this is a track where actually the outside lane might be able to prevail, unlike most tracks where if you're stuck on the outside, all you can do is go backwards. And I also think that this track is also a pretty hard racetrack to pass, and I think part of that is due to the fact about how the racing groove is pretty narrow, I have to say, along with the track width as well. And and when I think back to last season's event, the race was won in dominating fashion by Nick Smith, and actually some of the drivers that also got like good finish in that race that are in this season are Connor Breeden, who I think finished second in that race, Ian Saunders, and Charles Belding. And Charles Belding would go on to win the championship in that series. And this time, and also that race that was earlier in the season, so it wasn't like as easy to really say like, okay, this is a driver that could win the championship. This time around, it's different. We only have 5 more races to go, and then a champion is crowned. And who will it be? Well, it could be our points leader, Clev Crafton, who took the points lead away after a very solid performance, and what really helped him was a great qualifying position. You couldn't say that to Mason Jefferson, who had the points lead entering the race, but qualified dead last, and he got involved in a crash because he was stuck back there, and now he's third in points. And so who is second place in points? It is Garrett Sydnor, the two-time winner, and he scored his third career pole, tying with the most between him and Lion Mills Jr. And Garrett Sydnor, he is 22 points behind Clev Crafton, but since he does start on the pole, he could uh, he could gain a lot of points on Clev Crafton and maybe take away his points lead. And the fourth driver, that is the final driver in the championship picture, is Abe Troxell. And actually, there are actually a few drivers that have been in the picture, but due to poor performances last week at Rockingham, they're just outside the picture. Biff Crafton and Stars and Johnny Worth are all looking to get back in this picture, but to me, time is running out, and so I think that our champion is somewhere. I think that one of the 4 drivers that I mentioned, the top 4 drivers, I think that one of those 4 drivers is our champion. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top, especially after this weekend, where this weekend it could be just as wild as last weekend at the Rockingham, because Rockingham had, I think, several cautions, and they all happened in different areas of the racetrack. Lucas Oil Raceway Park, I think it could be just as wild, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But anyway, now let's get the trucks rolling off. A couple other things I would like to get out of the way before we take the green flag, which will be in just a minute. So, what are the trouble spots? Well, I think the trouble spots are going to be on the backstretch and entering turns 3 and 4. I think that's where most of our crashes happened a season ago. And through what I can remember a season ago is that all of our crashes happened. They were all multi-car incidents as well. So if you're in the middle or in the back of the field, you could be into some serious trouble. But anyway, Garrett Sydnor starts on the pole, and the points there, Clev Crafton, I think, starts outside the top 20. So this will be interesting, just like last week. And in the meantime, coming out on turn number 4 for the second season in a row, we are green at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. A good crowd is here on hand. Here we go. Garrett Sydnor gets a great start. Here comes Abe Troxell in the 28 looking to bounce, and right behind him is Biff Crafton in the 54. He's also looking to get back in this picture. And in the meantime, here, look at this. 3 wide behind them. Payne Keys is stuck on the outside, and the caution is already out. I just got to check. Did he make it? Okay. Clev Crafton, no damage on his car. As well, Kendall Domel is in the wall. And Womack is 4 wide. Leia Walker, Kyle Kaminsky, Okay. It looks like everyone. It looks like that. It might have just been a simple spin, but let's take a look. I don't remember a crash taking place entering turn number 1, but that's what happened. So, watch Leia Walker and Bobby Una here. They hook together, and and then they come right. And then they come right in front of Kyle Kaminsky, nowhere for him to go. And then when Leia Walker hits the outside wall, it causes Bobby Una to hit the outside wall. And amazingly, I don't think anyone else got involved in this, because that could have been a big crash already. But look, and it looks like no one else is going to be out of the race. And now let's go on board some drivers. Often when a crash happens in front of you, it can be almost impossible to avoid it. But William Bedford had some luck on his side. I don't think Leia Walker expected this, especially 10 seconds after the green flag, or maybe even less than that. No DNFs after that first crash incident, but most notably, Dale Scott did make a pit stop, and through what I saw, it was a tire change, but it could be something else. And Dale Scott actually scored. I think he scored his first top 10 in quite some time last week at the Rock. And anyway, Garrett Sydnor brings us back to the green flag at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. And anyway, in the meantime, Jim Kelly did not get off to a great restart at all. And look at this, Pankey's is looking to the inside of him. And Jim Kelly in the 8. This is a driver that won 3 races a season ago, but really it's just been very crummy luck this season. But to me, I actually think that this might be one of his best chances to win a race. And oh my goodness, here! Oh, we have an accident. The 17, Jason Thomas is around. Is that gonna bring out the caution? No. Oh no, we are still green here. It might have a giant warfare. Whoa! Luke Walker almost got hooked by Lionel Mills Jr. Yeah, so on the last lap, Justin Thomas was just in front of Johnny Warp, so I have a feeling that might had led to him spinning. But he is still on the racetrack, and so it doesn't look like that he's going to have to pit. But one thing that he would like to see is a caution. And anyway, here are some good battles here towards the rear end of the field. Philip Goldberg, who a couple weeks ago he was actually in the picture, but the past 2 weeks have not really gone his way. William Bedford in 25, a driver who barely avoided the last incident that brought the caution. Blaine Keys in the 88. There's Lionel Mills Jr. Garrett Sydnor and Lionel Mills Jr. actually tie for most poles so far this season, and I think I said that in the previous show, but it's 3 each for both of them. So it seems like that the drivers in this series, or at least some of the drivers, really know how to get great times in qualifying, unlike the Hot Wheels Cup Series, where so far in all 20 races we've had a different pole center for every single race. And Garrett Sydnor, in the meantime, is just currently he's just sailing away. Here, Jim Kelly in the a driver who's actually he's actually coming off of a bit of momentum from the last race he was in, which was the Hot Wheels Cup Series race at Camp Valley. Qualified on the pole, finished second. Right behind Jim Kelly is Payne Keys, a driver that's just had a very struggling season. He's had a pretty struggling season, I think, in all 3 series. Abe Troxell trying to gain any more points he can get. Elgin Mills in the 51. I think if he finishes right around here, he could possibly get himself into the top 10 points. Clev Crafton and 54 trying to gain ground, which really hasn't done a whole lot of for the past several weeks. Unlike earlier in the season where he won 3 out of 4 races at one point, Mason Jefferson has had um, has had his past few weeks have not particularly gone well. And so he's just trying to salvage a good finish. And Jim Kelly still is right behind Garrett Sydnor, but looks like that but looks like that he's kind of like gaining and losing to Garrett Sydnor depending on what lap it is. Garrett Sydnor hasn't fully been able to pull away, and looks like that the way things are going are now. And look at this, Justin Talapas, who just went for a spin. Now he has caught up to Dale Scott, Kyle Kaminsky. So that was quick. Sorry for the interruption. In case you noticed it, I had to check some. I had to go check something very quickly, so that's why I had to pause it. But anyway, Garrett Sydnor, he continues to lead, and uh, we are still green flag. Actually, I think I just saw the caution. Yep, the caution is out. Ooh, Kyle Kaminsky goes for a spin right in front of Garrett Sydnor. Whoa! Kyle Kaminsky better get up his speed. So Kyle Kaminsky once again involved in our wreck. So his rough night continues, and this time he's going to the pit. So it looks like his day could be over. I don't. Oh my goodness! In front of me here. Oh my goodness! Clev Crafton here. He gets run over here and keeps on getting hit. Oh no, not Garrett here. He can't. He cannot afford he cannot afford a night like this at all. But looks like that he will get his position back. That was strange. So before we show you what happened to Kyle Kaminsky, I'm actually going to show you what happened to Justin Talapas. I think I know what might had happened, but I just want to be sure. It's hard for me to tell what exactly went down, but I think Justin Talapas might had gone up into Clev Crafton, or Clev Crafton just simply went down and didn't realize Justin Talapas was there, and then Justin Talapas spun off the front bumper of not Andrew Brandt. He was actually in that car last season. Johnny Warp, my bad. And he actually takes a pretty good look into that inside wall, which actually surprises me even more that he was actually able to catch up to Dale Scott and Kyle Kaminsky. But now let's take a look and see what actually brought the caution. Before we do that, let's actually go on board Justin Talapas. I just mentioned that Justin Talapas was able to catch up to Dale Scott and Kyle Kaminsky. Well, actually, he actually contributed to this crash. So, entering turn 1 to Kyle Kaminsky all himself, but the real problem was that he did not expect that, and they hooked right up into Kyle Kaminsky. Kyle Kaminsky first rides the wall, and then goes over. Dale Scott got back rolling, and so that's what happened to Kyle Kaminsky. Now, what happened to Clev Crafton, who did not get going? Ahead of them. I think it all started with maybe like Hayden Jefferson, and then from there on, if you were several cars behind that, you really couldn't really see what went down, and then someone hits the back bumper of Clev Crafton, and then Clev Crafton goes sideways and gets hit by a few trucks. Now let's take you back to the restart. After this caution, Kyle Kaminsky is the only driver that will be out of the race, and looks like that possibly Lonnie Mills Jr. had to make some kind of like unscheduled pit stop. And anyway, so Garrett Sydnor, the last green flag run, I don't know, actually, oh my gosh, my bad, I didn't actually see Kyle Kaminsky. He will actually be the first driver to restart on the inside. My bad. So the last green flag run, Garrett Sydnor was able to pull away from Jim Kelly pretty nicely. Let's see if he's able to do that again. But we gotta watch Kyle Kaminsky, because this could equal trouble. Whoa, Elgin Mills, they're everywhere. They're dancing. Oh no, this is not going to be good here. The Crafton is all over the back bumper of LJ Mills. Mason Jefferson is getting a push from Broke Hedgehog. Whoa. Watch it up right here. Paying keys, Kyle Kaminsky. Kyle Kaminsky, he's actually doing a better job than what I expected of being able to stay in this pack. He's not as slow as some of the other interferences we've seen this season, but still, he better watch out. Right behind Paying keys is Andrew Gorman, and there we go. Kyle Kaminsky, he gets forced to the outside wall. Now he's really slow, but looks like everyone is gonna be able to get by us here. Oh no, we don't. Clev Crafton just runs into the back of Cameron Garlington, puts him in the wall, and it looks like now we're seeing a lot more pushing going on. But two drivers that don't have to worry about any of this is our front two. Jim Kelly, who I think is actually closing in on Garrett Sydnor, possibly. Garrett Sydnor, he got a good run off of turn number 4 that time, and so now the margin, I think the margin actually stayed the same. It did. So here we go. So where does Garrett Sydnor really thrive at? That's what I would like to know. I think Garrett Sydnor really does get a good run off of turns 3 and 4 right here, but I think Jim Kelly might possibly he might have more straightaway speed, but. Whoa. Yeah. I have a feeling that the line was jerky. Oh, there we go. There we go. Kyle Kaminsky is turned around right in front of Phil Goldberg, and the Scott just got collected, and so that brings out another caution. Yeah, I had a feeling that Kyle Kaminsky would be problem here, but once he got put in the wall by Paying keys, that from there on it just got even worse. Let's take a closer look. The way this started is that Kenny Hill and Phil Goldberg and Bobby Unum here, they were all bumping into each other here, and then Kyle Kaminsky, who was just ahead of that, got turned. Kyle Kaminsky goes right up in front of Phil Goldberg here. Kenny Hill and Bobby Unum almost get turned, and then the driver that comes in is very late, or actually he didn't get almost any damage at all. Dale Scott, he just scraped Kyle Kaminsky, but that might possibly be enough damage to take him out of the race. But once again, I'm surprised that this crash wasn't any bigger than one. Other than Kyle Kaminsky, the biggest loser, Phil Goldberg. Bobby Una kind of rode the wall. Kyle Kaminsky will still restart on the inside line because apparently, I guess they repaired that car enough to where it can still run, but I have a feeling that he'll still be a big interference. And now, these cautions, I gotta say, they're sort of helping in hurting Garrett Sydnor because while it does help him lead more laps, it also gives another chance for Jim Kelly or anyone else to pounce on him. And here we go. Coming off of turn number 4, with now just 14 more laps to go, Garrett Sydnor takes the green flag. Jim Kelly will also give by Kyle Kaminsky before we head into turns 1 2. And this time here, Kyle Kaminsky, once again, stuck on the outside. This time, now Abe Troxel is behind him. And once again, we are seeing even more too. And look at this right here, three wide behind them. Mason Jefferson, Andrew Gorman, and Dean Orton. Now, I see Ben Braley here trying to get help from Charles Belding, and right behind Charles Belding, I can actually see Daniel Voiles in the 6th last week's winner at Rockingham, and I gotta say, I kind of felt like that his win was one of the better stories of the season, because I felt like that Daniel Voiles, I haven't really talked about this driver a lot this season, but he's actually done a pretty decent job here. As someone gets here, we actually have a crash. It involves Ben Braley, Connor Breen, Daniel Voiles got a piece of it. Oh, and there goes Dean Orton once again off the bumper of Mason Jefferson, I think. And it looks like once again Kyle Kaminsky caused this. and the caution is out. Whoa, but guess here, some tempers going on here. Oh, and there they go. Bobby Unit and William Bedford got together, I believe. And up front, and, and, and up front, some drivers try to get back up into their positions. Garrett Sydnor still leads, and now that we will restart with 10 laps to go, Kyle Kaminsky I think should restart towards the tail end of the longest line, so I don't think that he'll be in the way anymore. But let's take a look and see what exactly happened, because you couldn't really see that much from the spectator camera. Dean Orton was having a good day, running into the top 10, trying to get himself into the top 5, and if he would have finished right around here, we could be talking about Dean Orton as maybe being like a last-second upset. But contact between him and Kyle Kaminsky, I believe, heading down into turns 3 and 4, I think that was the case. Yes, they are here. Mason Jefferson, Ben Braley, and Daniel Wells all have nowhere to go, and actually, Ben Braley actually gets lifted up into the air. Dean Orton then stuck behind Kyle Kaminsky, and then he finally gets some help from Mason Jefferson. Dean Orton goes into the outside wall here, and then Ben Braley runs into the back of him. And so it looks like that for Dean Orton and Ben Braley, it looks like their days will be over. Ben Braley was also having a nice solid day, and actually, if he would have finished right around here, he could have actually had gotten himself inside the top 10 points. How to gain positions, brought to you by Kendall Minor. He's been upside down, he's been a slower car, he's been turned from behind. Pretty much anything that could happen to Kyle Kaminsky has happened, and I think this crash that just happened might have just sealed the deal. Kyle Kaminsky and Dean Orton are now officially out of the race. Actually, I think Dean Orton is still on the race. Actually, yes, he is. But he will start at the tail end of the longest line, along with Daniel Boyle. So so really unfortunate break for them. And now Garrett Sydnor is going to lead to the green flag. Can he lead every single lap and win? Well, we'll have to just find out. And with some of the other drivers still restarting high up on the running order, will the damage affect them? Let's find out. Here we go. Garrett Sydnor and Jim Kelly got a good restart, better than Elgin Mills. But can Jim Kelly catch Garrett Sydnor? Elgin Mills now has Payne Keys to worry about. Abe Chalks are running in the fifth position. If he's gonna have any shot at winning this championship, this is the run that he needs. But anyway, now Garrett Sydnor, he is now pulled away from Jim Kelly, and the caution is now out. This might be the caution that ends the race. And what is it for? I do not know. I cannot tell who spun. It might have been Ben Braley, but it doesn't look like anyone. Oh! It happened on the front stretch. So interesting. Yeah, but it looks like that with only just a few laps to go, this caution will end the race. And unless he has a problem, Garrett Sydnor will be our winner. What a dominating performance by Garrett Sydnor, and this will definitely help him in the points. Connor Breen comes up on Jimmy Johns and down into Cameron Gallatin. And so with this happening right in the middle of the field, that's why the caution was brought out, and this caution will end the race. Now let's show you our finishing results. Once again, a scoring error. It should be 35 drivers on the lead lap, not 15. So I forgive that. And the only driver that DNF'd and was involved in every single crash except the last one, Kyle Kaminsky. And so and so here is the top 10. Garrett Sydnor, Jim Kelly, Eldon Mills, Payne Keys, Abe Troxell, Biff Crafton, Andrew Gorman, Charles Bellion, Kendall Demel, and Veronica Hedgehog. I think that once again Garrett Sydnor is a great example about how important it is to qualify. And for where did Clev Crafton finish? He finished 21st, and so entering this weekend, uh, it was a 22-point lead, and the thing is that due to bonus points for leading a lap, leading the most laps, and winning the race, that adds up to 5 extra bonus points. Garrett Sydnor should be our points leader, but only by a few points over Clev Crafton, and I think that based on his finishing position, Abe Troxell, I think that he closed in a little bit, and Mason Jefferson, I think also kind of keeps his championship hopes alive with with a decent top 15 finish. And so it looks like that after this weekend, it's still most likely going to be those 4 drivers as we head off to, I think it's Dover. I think Dover is the next place we are going to, and that racetrack, um, it's a self-clean racetrack, and it's also a pretty narrow racetrack, especially on the straightaways. So, uh, you you could very easily get wiped out there, and it should be a fun, intense, nerve-wracking race to watch. Anyway, I would like to thank everyone for watching this race. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and bye. Congrats to Garrett Sydnor on your 3rd win this season.